All right, guys. So now we are ready to start implementing some gameplay into our app. All right. So we just got done putting in the bullet classes. So we had our bullet kind of main class, and then we had invader bullet and player bullet dot swift, both of which subclassed off a bullet. And it's basically we're going to have these bullets that we're going to use in our gameplay. All right. So let's get right to it here. So before we get going, into total gameplay, we do need to set up our view a little differently here because we need to have. We want to make sure that the scene's size, is variable. All right, so we're going to work with the right bounds. So before we do anything, we need to change the let right bound. So we're in game scene.swift. We're going to change this to var. Actually, we want this to be a variable. Actually, we need this to be a little more flexible here. We want it to change. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go inside our did move to view function. And we're going to change right bounds. So we'll go ahead and call that. All right, we're going to set that equal to self.size. So we're taking the size of the game view scene, and then we're going to change the width of it, and then we're going to subtract 30. Okay, so basically this is just going to be a little more flexible of a view here. Excuse me. So that's just going to affect our game scene. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just maximize this view here. First is we're going to go ahead and add our a new function down below here. So I'm going to enter down just so we can get some white space here to see everything. All right, so we're going to create the whole objective of this first little mini lesson is to move our invader. So we're going to call our function move invaders. Okay, and then as always parentheses, curly braces, and then the first thing we want to do is create a variable called change of direction. And we want this to be a Boolean, so it's either true or false. So we're going to start it off as false, so nothing's happening. All right, so then we're going to false. There we go. Okay, now we want to enumerate. All right, should be able to get a autocomplete here. We want to go enumerate child nodes with name. Okay, so basically we're just going to be kind of cycling through some options here. So the first thing, the name is going to be invader. So let's put that in quotes here. Okay, and then we're going to tab over and hit enter. All right, and actually we're going to clean some of this up here. So actually let's do this here. So let's just delete this out. And we're going to put invader in parentheses. So let's kind of get to that point. Okay, and then from there, we're going to go ahead and put a curly brace and hit enter. All right, and then again, we'll kind of clean this up as we go. So if you're getting some errors right now, no worries, we're going to clean these up. Okay, so after our curly brace, again, we're going to be working with a node. We're going to go node, comma, stop in. So this is kind of like a for loop, all right, or we did some blocks when we did our alert view controllers last time. So we're going to say let invader is equal to node as sk sprite node. Okay, so we're going to classify invader as a node. All right, then we're going to say let invader half width is equal to invader. Oh, hang on there. Okay, perfect. Make sure you get the lowercase one there. Dot size dot width. So we're setting the size of it. We're going to divide that by 2. So we're going to take half of the width of it. Okay, and then we're going to set the position of our invader. So invader.position.x, we're going to set the x position of it. All right, it's going to be minus equal. So let's think back to those decrement operators we did way back in September. So basically we're going to be, this is kind of the equivalent of saying 1 minus 1 here. So we're going to go minus equal CG floats. All right, we're going to set the self.invader speed. All right, and invader speed is set up above, just so that is right here. We set it to 2. Okay, so that's not just falling from the sky. Okay, and then from there, we're going to do a little if statement. So we're going to say if invader, okay, let me just shoot. Okay, sorry about that. So if invader dot position, back up there. Okay, so that's first part dot x. Okay, if that is greater than self dot right bounds, there we go, minus invader half width. Okay, so that's the first part. We'll get that bracket. We don't want that. Okay, so that's part 1 there. Okay, and actually we don't need the parentheses just yet. Okay, so we're saying if invader dot position, so if the x position of the invader is greater than the right bounds minus the half width, or, so let's use our or operator there. Okay, invader dot position dot x, okay, is less than self dot left bounds plus invader half width. Okay, then we can put that. All right, so that's our comparison. Okay, so if all that, if one or the other happens, we're going to change direction. Okay, so change of direction is going to be equal, so we're going to set that Boolean property to true. Okay. Okay, so we're saying, so if the invader position is greater than the right bounds minus the half width, or less, or excuse me, if it's less than the left bounds plus the half width, we're going to change the direction. Okay, so that's the first part. Okay, so then we'll have our two curly braces. Actually, let's just get rid of this one right now. Okay, and again, we'll fix up, we'll make sure we're error free here in a moment. Okay, so then from there, okay, let's do another if statement here. Okay, so we're going to say if change of direction. There we go. All right, so if change of direction is equal to true, so based off that last if statement, if it's equal to true, oops, sorry about that, guys, making a mess of this right now. There we go. All right, so if that's true, what's going to happen? Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to change the invader speed. All right, so we're going to multiply that. So multiply equals 1. Oh, -1, excuse me. Okay, then from there, we're going to go self.enumerate that child's known with nodes with names. Once again, so like what we called before, we're going to go invader. We're just going to delete a lot of this stuff here. There we go. All right, we'll go parenthesis node stop in, and then we're going to go let invader is equal to node as sk sprite node. So we're casting it as an sk sprite node, and then the invader dot position dot y minus equals cg float 46. Okay, so that's the first part there. Okay, so let's see here. Node. Oh, forgot my comma right here. So I pay, as I always say, attention to detail. So get that up. So now I've got invader position dot y. We're going to enter right here. We're going to go change. So then once we kind of come through all those if statements, we're going to reset change of direction back to false. We're going to put a curly brace right here. All right, then let's just let everything kind of sink in and compile right now. All right, so error's gone away. So as we're going through kind of a quick review here, just make sure you're checking, you're seeing here to see what we've got. Okay, so what we've got, all right, so again, we declare a variable called change of direction, okay, to keep track of when the invaders need to change direction. Okay, that's what this is here. All right, and then we start working with the enumerate child's nodes method, which basically that's going to search all the nodes children's, and then it's going to match it up to the invader. Okay, so it's either going to be a node, and then it's going to stop it or move it based off of everything that happens here. Okay, again, we cast the node as an SK sprite node. Okay, just to make, and then the invader is a subclass of. And then we get half its width. Okay, and then that's going to update its position. All right, and then we're looking within the bounds, the left bounds and the right bounds, and if not, we set it to true. Okay, so basically the true means if it's true, we negate invader speed. Okay, so then we go back through it. So basically all this is doing is giving our invader the ability to move here. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our app and let's see what this looks like, because right now we should see the invaders moving left, right, and down if they reach the bounds that we have set on the other side. So let's just give this a peek and see what's happening at this point. Alright, so there we go. Starting to load up now. Here we go. Alright, so let's check this guy out, see what's happening here. we losing our connection here? What's going on here? Dreaded simulator freeze mode. Well, again, that's low, and I'll keep this screen up so that way if you're looking to correct any errors or anything, you can take a look at what we've done. Again, we added our move invaders function today. Okay, so that's the first thing we did there. And actually, you know what? I'm going to stop right now here because we did not do something here. So right now the simulator, maybe it's doing that on purpose. So I'm going to stop this here. All right, because at this point, though, we need to call our move invaders method. We have not called it yet. So without calling it, nothing's going to happen. All right, so we need to come up to our update method. All right, and we need to call the function right here. So I'm kind of glad I caught that there. So move invaders will get called inside our update method. Okay, so that's where you call it. So now, maybe I don't think that's the reason why the simulator was slow, but look at that though. The slow simulator served a purpose this time. So let's go ahead and run this. All right, take a peek at it here. So move invaders, make sure you call it in your update function. All right, so let's see if I can get both up there. Kind of. There's move invaders and the call update function, and then here's the info on it. So we're building here. So as we're waiting here, great time to get a holiday list going. If you're going to buy some presents there, or you're going to start studying for a final exam during this horribly long process. There you go. The build succeeded. We're halfway home. It's running something. What it's running, who knows? There it is. Okay. Space Invaders. Full screen here. Alright, I think we might be in. Well, actually, of course, as I stop it. So let's try running this one more time. And then I'll stop the video here just so I can move on. But obviously, I'd like to be able to see the finished product with you guys so we can enjoy the in our simulator. You know, without the simulator runtime, our average length of video would go down about 5 minutes here, but goodness. Well, guys, I don't know if this thing's just not going to load. So what I'll probably do at this point is I'm going to stop this first one, and then I'm going to kind of keep these lessons short as we go through the different gameplay elements, just so it's a little easier to kind of go back and look at one particular item rather than trying to sift through a big 20-minute one. So I don't want to keep this thing running. So hopefully you were able to see yours working there. If not, go back through the video and check out the code. Make sure you're plugging things in correctly there and paying attention to detail as always. But I'm going to stop it at this point so that way you guys can get moving on to your next video here. But appreciate you bearing with me on that. But thanks for watching, and then we will see you guys